The Wild Robot was written and illustrated by Peter Brown in 2016. I was a little hesitant to read this book because the movie seems like the sort of movie I would not enjoy. Thankfully, I really liked the book. The story is that a ship with 500 new robots is destroyed by an unexpected hurricane. By chance, 5 crates crash onto an island. Only one robot survives intact. She is Rosum Unit 7134, or Roz. She's a bit of a blank slate as she's never been activated before, and no one's around to tell her what to do. Her survival instincts lead her to a high point on the island, where she stands in place and does nothing, just like a middle schooler. A storm and a mudslide take her back down. She tries to take refuge in a cave, but she's chased away by bears and has trouble escaping. Roz sees a stick insect use camouflage to hide itself. This gives her the idea to use camouflage to avoid detection. She regularly hides herself and watches the animals. Eventually, she learns how to speak animal language. Is it weird that it took me a moment to accept this premise? I can believe in talking robots, but talking animals? That's something else entirely. Roz introduces herself to the animals. They think she's a monster and run away. The only time an animal talks to her is when they have no other choice, such as when Fink the fox needs help removing porcupine quills. Perhaps it is for the best that our robot doesn't have feelings, because those feelings would be hurt. Again, the poor robot is caught in a storm. She falls off a cliffside and lands on a family of geese. 4 eggs and the 2 adults are killed instantly. Roz is unsure what to do with the surviving egg. Fink offers to eat it, but he eats the dead geese instead. My daughter says this scene is not in the movie, probably because it's gruesome for the main character of a kids' movie to kill several animals. At the same time, I think it's a very important scene, which is crucial to Roz's motivation. She's the one who killed the baby's parents. She has to be the one who raises the gosling. She can't give the egg to another goose and just walk away from the situation. An older goose named Loudwing helps Roz by telling her what food to feed the baby. He also names the baby Brightbill. He suggests getting help from the beavers, who can help make a lakeside home. I like how she first approaches the beavers with a gift. That's very nice. It shows she's learning, and it makes them far more inclined to help her. The beavers find Roz to be quite helpful, because she was literally made to follow orders that deal with plants and nature. When the home is built, Roz gets help from deer to build a garden. This proves to be the most successful idea yet. A lot of animals come out of curiosity because Roz wants their droppings as fertilizer. I could picture a lot of kid readers laughing about the droppings chapter. More animals come because they like the delicious food from the garden. Soon enough, Roz has a lot of friends and neighbors. Roz is also an excellent mother. She holds Brightbill to help him fall asleep. She feels pride when he goes out on the lake and swims for the first time. She's most useful when teaching him how to fly, because she's observed proper flying techniques from other birds. It's not all easy. Other geese tease Brightbill, leading him to realize Roz is not his birth mother. He defies her orders to stay away from the place where all the broken robots are. This leads to the discovery that there's a power button on the back of Roz's head. Roz's foot is broken off when the bear cubs attack her. It takes a while to make a replacement out of wood. I'm surprised they did not take a spare foot from the robot gravesite. It's sad at the end of autumn when all the geese have to leave for migration. Roz intends to hibernate in her lodge all winter. It's a particularly ugly and harsh winter. Many animals freeze to death. The roof of Roz's lodge collapses, causing her to wake up. She starts a fire to melt the snow. She invites the animals inside to keep warm, which eventually requires expanding the building. The animals are eternally grateful to Roz for saving their lives. She realizes animals like her more when she's more wild and less robotic. The geese return in spring. Brightbill tells the story of their migration. They encountered many robots and humans, including a dangerous one with a rifle. Roz invites all the animals to a large bonfire party. There is much singing and dancing. The bonfire proves to be a big mistake, as it gets the attention of a passing ship. Soon, an airship arrives with 3 large robots. They're called Reco robots, or Rico robots, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. They've come to collect Roz along with the broken robot pieces. It doesn't take long for them to decide that Roz is a defective unit which must be turned off and given to humans for repairs. The animals don't want Roz to be captured, so they help her fight off the robots. The bears knock one robot off a waterfall. The moose defeats a robot by kicking it until its head comes off. The last robot chase is the most dangerous, because it follows Roz directly. It chases her for hours. I'm not sure why the animals can't lead it towards the moose like they did with the first robot. That was so effective, I would have used that trick 3 times, instead of defeating each robot with a separate strategy. After Roz's foot falls off, she is forced to camouflage herself with seaweed. She tries to steal the Reco robot's rifle, but it explodes. Both of them are badly injured. Since the geese know how rifles work, they're able to fire a second shot, which defeats the Reco. Reco warns that humans will continue to send robots until Roz is retrieved. Roz is nothing more than a head and a torso now, so she has no choice. She must leave to protect her friends. The animals put all the robot parts on the airship. Roz hopes that she'll be able to get repairs and return to the island in the sequel. The end. Post-book follow-up. The book is about 280 pages long, which is a little surprising considering how simple the story is. Not a whole lot happens besides a robot lives on a deserted island for a year and raises a baby gosling. The book feels longer than it is due to the short chapters and the many illustrations. The illustrations are great, and I like the ones that manage to convey emotion, even though Roz has an expressionless face and the other characters are all animals. The book doesn't specify what Roz is made for, but the Roz unit in the human territory works in a greenhouse, and Roz is so good at gardening, I have to believe she's a gardening robot. The book has some literary elements, mainly the classic struggle of man versus nature, along with the question of what it means to be human, which is found in many robot stories. It's interesting how the animals are usually more humanized than Roz, and the ways Roz has changed over the course of the book are drawn into detail by the sharp contrast between her and the Recos. Overall, I can see why the book is popular enough to have a movie based on it. It's definitely a good one, although I might have liked it better if it didn't veer into talking animal territory. I give The Wild Robot a 9 out of 10.